What's up, you guys? This is Kev here. Let's talk. So, since started 2024 and maybe a little bit before that, I have been taking the time to reevaluate some of my relationships that I've had with people and really thinking about how I am progressing with them in 2024. There are some relationships this year that in the past I have taken the time to carry the relationship along because I was hoping and thinking that over time, certain dynamics would change and things would actually move into a state of progress. However, if there was anything that 2023 taught me, it was the importance of the saying from Maya Angelou: when people show you who they are, believe them. In the past, I would hold on to certain relationships because I would be looking at potential, or I was looking for validation, or I was just simply hoping that somewhere along the way there would be an evolution that would occur, with them, and hoping that things would turn out for the best. However, I had to learn something very important, and that is when people aren't making the change that you're hoping for them to achieve, you got to start making some changes. And it's not until you start making the change that things will start looking like progress, even if it's not the progress that you're looking for. So starting in 2024, and I think I started a little bit before that in the very end of 2023, I made the decision to start moving away from certain relationships. Maybe not exactly completely cut them off, but making the choice to step back so that I could put more focus on the trajectory that I want to go and the type of progress with relationships that I really wanted to have for the future. In life, one of the things that we are responsible and accountable for is how we relate in our relationships. And if you see that things are not really working out like you want them to, at the very least, you need to start making some adjustments to see how, if what you're relating with in terms of that person is actually working out towards the benefit that you're hoping for. And that's not to say that you shouldn't make any compromises or that you shouldn't listen to reason. Listen, we're all flawed. We all have our own perception of things. We all have our own mentality that can work towards or against our progress in relating to one another. However, if you see that your compromises are not working towards the benefit of the relationship, or if you're feeling yourself becoming smaller and smaller within those compromises, or you're making somebody else smaller and smaller in those compromises, then there is something that is flawed within the relationship that just simply making deals isn't going to cut. And you have to be honest and truthful enough, both to yourself and with others, if the relationships are worth keeping or staying away from, if not just ending altogether, however way possible. After all, we are the sum totals of the relationships that we keep habitually. And not only the relationship that we have with people that we are familiar with, but even the types of relationships that we are familiar with. That means that there are relationship patterns that show up with the people that you connect with. And if you're not honest about how those relationships are showing up, you can find yourself in those patterns again and again. So I simply say this: be clear about where you want to stand in the relationships that you have with people. If you find that what you're doing in your relationship isn't really working out like you hope, at the very least, you need to talk with the people that you're with so that you can find something productive that can come out of this situation. And if you try to compromise or try to make things work and they're not really working like they should, then you have to start thinking of some other measures in order for you to get to the progress that you need to make. In any case, don't stay in any relationship that you know isn't coming out in the way that you need to go for your life. Life is way too short to stay stagnant in relationships that aren't working. This is not for you to be arrogant or full of yourself. This is for you to make sober, logical, sound minded decisions about the path that you are making when it comes to the company that you keep. because anything that is putting you in the direction of danger or impeding your progress is something that is toxic, either in the short or long term. So be cautious about the company that you keep. And if you need to step away, feel free to do so from that particular relationship. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your support, and I hope that you do well with keeping the standard for the types of relationship that you wish to have.